Hello there, beautiful self-lovers. It's Katie here, and I am so glad to be with you on Valentine's Eve. It actually literally just occurred to me as I pressed go live. I saw the date, 13th of February. So of course it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, right? And it's really funny to me because it just makes me realize for so many years, Valentine's Day was really quite a source of sadness for me, really. And it's not anymore, to the degree that I hadn't even really clocked that it's Valentine's Day tomorrow. Like, it's just not on my awareness. It's really interesting. It's funny how I was more tuned into Valentine's Day when I was single, because the day made me focus on what I don't have rather than on being grateful for what I do have. And it's a really interesting part of the human condition, isn't it? To focus on what we don't have. And literally, as this thought has come to me, and no one's actually joined yet, so I hope that, oh yes, you are joining. Hi guys. Hi. Let me know who you are. I hope you caught what I was literally just saying. I probably should give you guys some time to arrive before I dive into these calls. But yeah, just to catch you guys up who've just arrived. Literally, as I pressed go live on this call just now, it occurred to me that tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Hey, Karina, where are you on from? What part of the world are you? It looks summery in your photo. Jean, hello. It's good to see you. Oh my God, this is great. Keep letting me know who you are and where you're calling from, and you're all joining, and I'm loving it. Yeah, so let me just go back for a second. So yeah, it literally, as I pressed go live, it occurred to me tomorrow's Valentine's Day. And it really wasn't on my radar. And it's interesting because I am in a relationship. So, Valentine's Day is for people in relationships, right? Like, I know it's all very commercial, yada, yada. And it's for people in relationship to send, or who desire to be in a relationship, hence the, your secret Valentine. Karina, oh, Long Beach. Oh my God. What's the weather like there? Because it's pouring with rain here today, and it's cold and windy and I'm looking up there because I've got a big window, and very grey, but I'm determined to be spring-like. Look, I'm all like spring-like I'm really drawn to the color red at the minute. It's very grounding. Anyway, so Valentine's Day, it's for people who are kind of wanting to let that person know that they love them. Okay. And I have that person, and I hadn't really quite clocked that tomorrow's Valentine's, which totally perfectly leads me, okay, I'm going to read these messages in a sec. It leads me into today's subject about creating a vision, about focusing on your dream and what it is that you desire to call in. Because it's the human condition to focus on what we don't have. That's what we do. It's a terrible, sabotaging, bad habit that we have. Lindsay, thank you, darling. I'm seeing these messages. I will go back to the messages, but you can see what I'm like. I get really easily distracted and then forget what I'm talking about. So, we focus on what we don't have. And today's lesson is, it's perfect, really, that today's lesson is about focusing on what you do have, but actually more importantly for today's lesson, on what you desire to have. And that's a really, really tough thing for a lot of us, because we're just not in the habit of dreaming. It's almost like it's kind of been beaten out of us. It's such a childlike thing to do, is to dream, isn't it? And us adults we don't dream enough. We don't give ourselves, we women in particular. Hey, Barrett, nice to see you. Let me know where you're calling from, or not calling, where you're tuning in from. We don't give ourselves permission to dream. We don't. We forget how. As little kids, like, I watch our kids, and my son in particular, he actually like draws pictures and writes what he wants. He's always got a wish list of things that he wants to get or buy, or where he wants to go on holiday. He's always saying, Mummy, can we go here? Can we go there? Like, all around the world. He's very focused on what he wants and what he's calling in. We seem to forget. We seem to get caught up in the day-to-day humdrum of life, and we just lose that magic. And it really occurred to me with Valentine's Day tomorrow. Valentine's is yes, it's about telling others that you love them. And for me personally, I think it's a really great excuse to tell yourself that you love you, and to give yourself permission. It seems like the perfect day, really, to love yourself enough to give yourself permission to start focusing on, like, who am I? And what do I desire? What lights me up? How could I love myself more? What could I do to love myself more? What could I create to love myself more? What could I create in my life that makes me feel lit up and joyful and playful and pleasured and desired and all that good stuff? Like, for tomorrow, regardless of whether you're in a relationship or single, I really would love to invite you to have it be a day of self-love as much as it's about loving others. And if you are single, then today's assignment is even more perfect, because it really does invite you to dream and to get real sort of crystal clear clarity on what it is that you're calling in. Because here's the thing. This is how it works. And you've probably heard me say it before, but we get what we focus on, right? We totally get what we focus on. We are a vibrational match to whatever it is that's going on in our life. And sometimes that's a bitter pill to swallow, isn't it? Because if there's shitty, horrible stuff going on in your life, then you kind of got to realize that there's something about you, something about your energy that's available for that to be going on, that has somehow attracted that into your life. And I don't believe that life is happening to you to hurt you or anything horrible like that. I actually think that even the shitty stuff is life showing you what you have to heal, and it's showing you how you can be more of you. It's actually a really beautiful gift. And often the most powerful transformational gifts are the most painful. I think you probably know that. But we totally get what we focus on. So today's lesson is about, you're a conscious woman now. We've done a lot of work in the weeks leading up to now. And if you're joining today and you're brand new to this and you haven't watched the previous videos, then you can just go back through the Self-Love Hub and you can see all the videos leading up to today. And if you don't, by the way, have the book, The Self-Love Affair. This is my book, The Self-Love Affair, A Woman's Guide to a Daring and Mighty Life. We are literally week by week working through this book. And today we are up to page 51, which is called Your Conscious Dream. Oh, and it starts with a quote by Walt Disney, which says, all our dreams come true if we have the courage to pursue them. So in the lead up to this, we've actually already looked at and addressed fear and how that can be the biggest thing that's going to stop you from even starting the self-love affair process. So we do need courage to pursue our dreams, and we need courage to dream full stop, even to get to the dreaming point. So let's take a look at what it takes to dream and why we need to. And before I do, I'm just going to have a little look at the comments. Okay, hold on a sec. Here we go. So yes, Karina's joined. Awesome. Jean has joined. Love it. Karina's in Long Beach. Yes, I'm totally jealous of your sunshine. I'm actually potentially going to LA in a couple of weeks, but it's not feeling like the right timing at the minute. It's funny how things change. But we'll see. If I'm there, I'll let you know. April, hi Katie, getting on a train from Norwich. Hope the Saturday goal holds. Hope the Saturday goal holds. What was the Saturday goal? Oh, the signal. Oh, I love it. Oh my God, spell check. Yes. Yeah, I've had some really weird instances of people sending me messages where their spell check has gone wrong and it sent me into a tailspin this week. So I hope the signal holds. Great. Good to have you, April. Lindsay, thank you for commenting on my lovely top. I love it too. And Barrett, where are you calling from, Barrett? Oh, there we are, tuning in from Guildford. Awesome, nice and local. I wonder if it's raining and grey where you are. I was in Guildford on the weekend, actually. I had my cat in a special orthopedic facility. She's not been very well, and I'm not going to talk about it because I will cry. And yeah, she's not very well. And those of you who know me well know that my cat is my baby. And those of you that have pets know that our furry babies are very, very special to us. So yeah, she was being taken care of in Guildford this weekend, but she's coming out the other side, I think. Anywho, guys, let's dive in. Where shall I begin? The importance of dreaming, the importance of creating a vision at this point in the self-love affair process. So to reiterate, I am taking you through week by week a very particular process. And I'm not going to explain why. Thank you, Jean. Hugs to your furry love. Yeah, thanks. I'm not going to explain the why of the process. To be honest, just going through it, by the end of it, you'll look back and you'll get it. So there's a reason why at this point in the process, we're focusing on your dream. We've begun a lot of awareness creation for why you're at where you are in your life. And we are going to go on to do more awareness creation. It will be even deeper. It will create more fear, perhaps more pain, perhaps. It's definitely going to hook you in to the truth of how you feel and the absolute discomfort of that. And I don't do that to be mean. I do it because it's part of the transformational process and it's important. It's imperative. So we've done some awareness creation. We're about to do more and we're about to go really deep, and it's going to bring up your stuff. It's not going to be particularly pleasant. This first third of the whole process is quite uncomfortable. So right in the middle of the first third, I'm inviting you to dream and to consider your vision, your life vision, because it's fun and pleasurable. It's a lovely thing to do, right? It is as much about awareness creation as looking at all the shitty stuff that's not working out for you. It's important to create the awareness around what you want, mostly because you need a light at the end of the tunnel to move towards, right? So can you guys see me okay? One sec. Yeah. You need a light at the end of the tunnel to move you towards, particularly as we go into the next stages of this process. When it does become uncomfortable, I can pretty much guarantee that there are going to be times that you're going to want to give up. You're going to hate me. You're going to hate the process. You're going to hate all of your life experiences that have caused you pain and wish they never happened. You're going to really, really at times not want to go into it. You're going to want to do what you've done for all of these years and put your blinkers on and do whatever you do, whatever your habits of behavior are that allow you to ignore and repress and push down all the uncomfortable stuff, whatever your habits are. You know, historically for me, it was a bottle of wine and a Netflix box set. Sex and the City was my box set of choice about a decade ago. You know, whatever your thing is it shopping? Is it overeating? Is it over exercising, overworking, focusing on your boyfriend or husband or partner, you know, focusing on people pleasing others so that you don't have to focus on you? Like, we've all got our thing that we do. To actually, a good one of mine was cleaning. I go into like obsessive cleaning so that I don't have to think about the uncomfortable stuff. And more importantly, so I don't have to feel the uncomfortable stuff. Right. So this is coming up. You're going to want at times to give up. You're going to not want to face your stuff. You're going to feel like healing that stuff. Once you've become aware of it, some of it can feel so big and so overwhelming. And you might think, I don't even know where to begin. I don't know how to heal this. And just that overwhelm in itself might stop you, you know, and have you give up. Jean's saying I can relate to cleaning. Yeah, you know what? I think a lot of women can. And we don't want you to give up. I don't want you to give up. You don't want you to give up. I know that when you don't give up, the day will come when you will feel so proud of yourself that you didn't give up and that you carried on regardless, because you're going to change your life and you're going to be so grateful to yourself that you did. Right? So you need a reason to keep going. So you set an intention. I think the first teaching module on this was all around setting intention, wasn't it? It's setting your intention for why you want to do this work, why you want to change aspects of your life and how you feel, right? So that's kind of like your reason why. That's important to have. And then we need a light at the end of the tunnel to pull you through. So on those days you want to give up, you've got this vision and you know that your heart's deepest desire is X, Y, Z. And that's why you're doing this work. And without this work, you don't get to go there. You don't get to have that. And to know the truth of that, to feel the truth of that, to realize if I don't do this, I ain't getting there. You know, if I don't heal my stuff around men, I'm not going to have the healthy relationship I desire. If I don't heal my stuff around money, I'm not going to have the wealth and abundance I desire. If I don't heal my stuff about, you know, my issues around my body, I'm not going to have the physical health and fitness that I desire. And I could go on and on and on. You need to know what your dream is. You need to know your desire. It will pull you through when you want to give up. And what's really gorgeous is, you know, through this process, I hope that you're keeping a journal. And there will be times when, you know, you can flick back through your journal. Like, imagine, right? Imagine in 12 months' time, looking back to today and reading your life vision and being able to go tick, 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 and feeling so proud of yourself for all that you did and all that you healed and transformed and overcame to create that vision. And to then in that moment realize that you couldn't have created the vision if you hadn't written it first. Because without awareness of it, without completely connecting into the vision and having it feel like it's so present that it's almost a memory, like it's already done. I'm going to teach you how to write a vision in a second so that you have this experience. Like, it's almost when you write the vision, it's as if it's already happened and you can emotionally engage with it. But if without doing that work, this is such an important part of the process. Without doing that and creating that awareness, you don't get to call it in. You know, we have to know what we're calling in. And the problem is most of us keep calling in life experiences and really uncomfortable ways of feeling and people that hurt us, you know, and disappointment and let down because we focus on what we don't have, because we focus on our fear, because we focus on our limiting beliefs, because nobody showed us how to do life a different way. Like, when that is the stuff that is going round and round and round in your head, then that is what you're going to keep getting. So, you know, I want you to declare, today is the day that you remember how to dream. Think back to how you were when you were a little girl. Did you have the ability to dream then? Did you? And because so many women struggle with this concept of giving themselves permission to dream, not really knowing where to begin, or it's just such a foreign concept. I remember, to me, once upon a time, writing a vision and having an idea of what I wanted in my life, like, I didn't even know what to begin writing. It was the weirdest thing. I felt so, what's the word? I don't know what the word is. I couldn't do it. And I didn't understand why, because it sounded like so much fun. And I was sure other people were able to do it. And it made sense to me. But I really didn't really know how to begin. And, you know, and I want you to do this too. Like, take a look back when you were growing up. Who around you, particularly the women in your life, who modeled the ability to dream, who modeled the ability to create life vision, and who modeled the ability of focusing on desire and not on the things that I don't have? Who did that for you in your life? Men and women, but particularly the women in your life, who did that for you? Because if you can't name those people, then there is no surprise that it comes hard to you. Like, for me growing up, you know, my mum, beautiful, beautiful woman that she was, she didn't know how to dream. Her habit of behavior, her deepest conditioning and programming was very codependent. Her habit was to focus on the needs and desires and wishes of everybody else. It was codependent because it was to her own detriment. You know, she needed everybody else to be okay so that she felt okay. She didn't know how to do life in any other way except to be of service to other people. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And it's brilliant. And we must be of service. And, you know, I got to say, me showing up and doing these Facebook Lives makes me feel really good. Like, you're getting value, but you got to know this is a win-win. It makes me feel great because I love to be of service. It was actually a reason for me to really get, you know, get my nice pretty clothes on and put a bit of makeup on today. I felt really quite down this morning because I'm really worried about my cat. She's struggling. She's got a congenital disorder we've just found out about, and she's a bit of a ticking time bomb, and it's hard for me to get my head around at the minute, and I'm really grieving it. Although she's still with me, I'm grieving what's kind of going to happen. And I didn't really, I could have had a pretty bleak day today, but because of you guys, because of this community, because I'm so passionate about this, and because I love to teach this stuff, because this shit works, I'm here showing up and being of service. So being of service is fantastic. It's when it's to your own detriment that it's a real problem. I kind of got off on a bit of a tangent there, but that was what was modeled to me. My mum wasn't shown another way of doing life. It was all about being of service. And I look at my grandma, and she was a wonderful, wonderful woman. That's my mum's mum. And she was so loving. And I wouldn't say that she was codependent, but she was of the generation that looked to her man for direction. And she loved my granddad so much. And she would just go to the ends of the earth for him. And he was very focused on what he loved doing and how he liked to be of service in the world. He was in the RAF for many years, and my grandma dutifully followed him all around the globe. And that suited them. And she didn't really think for herself around what she desired. She just followed him. Now, as it turns out, that seemed to work well. I was never old enough, I guess. Before my grandma died, I didn't have the awareness I have now to actually ask her, do you feel fulfilled? Did you live out your dreams? Is there anything that you feel like you missed out on? I never had that conversation, but what was modeled to me was a woman that would follow her man. And then my mum learned that. And my mum, my family are all British. My mum and dad moved to Australia, and that's where I was born. I know my dad's desire was to move to Australia. He wanted to get as far away from his family as possible because it was so dysfunctional. It was his desire to come to Australia. And my mum loved him so much that she followed. It happened that she loved it. It worked out well for her. I know that she missed England all my years growing up. I heard about the beautiful English countryside and how wonderful that was. And funnily enough, here I am living in the English countryside, not very far from where she was born, ironically. But she didn't dream. She wasn't shown how. And that was massively to her own detriment. When we don't have our own dreams, we become martyrs. We succumb to real jealousy of what other people have, to comparison, like really low vibrational stuff. So if you have any trouble with the concept of dreaming, then have a look at, don't give yourself a hard time about that. Take a look without blame. I don't blame my mom and my grandmother for me having to learn how to dream and learn how to create a vision and learn how to focus on that rather than focusing on what I don't have. I don't blame them. It is what it is. But the awareness sets me free, and the awareness allows me to choose to do life differently and to learn a different way of doing life, to love myself enough to take responsibility for myself and learn these different ways. So I'm inviting you to do the same. If it's uncomfortable or weird or, whatever for you to create a vision and to start dreaming, then just knowing why that might be the case. And if you, as I'm speaking, if you know, then write in the comments box for me. Let me know, was it modeled to you or not? What was modeled to you? Regardless, today I invite you to set the intention to start dreaming, to create that vision. This is an all-important step in the process of creating the life that you truly desire and feeling the way you really want to feel. It's also a really fun process. So what you're going to do, it's actually pretty simple. Grab your journal and look at all the different life areas. And let me just go to the book and just read them out to you. They're all listed on page 53 if you have the book. So you're going to look at your life areas: physical health and fitness. Oh, hold on. Let's take a look at the comments. Jean is saying, I completely hear you. I completely hear you. I had no model and suffer with jealousy. My God, thank you, Jean, for outing yourself. Yeah. Jealousy, right? It's such a low vibrational, uncomfortable feeling. But jealousy is actually a really, really cool piece of information, because all it's doing is showing you what you really desire. And you're being challenged, like, could I give myself permission to go for that too? Like, why is it okay for them to have it and not me? What do I need to do to create that in my life? What do I need to believe about myself? What do I need to believe about the world? Right? It actually challenges you to transform any limiting beliefs, anything blocking you to having what you desire. So rather than let jealousy be something that festers and is really low vibrational and yucky, decide, like, turn it on its head, use it as information, use it as an indicator to then remove, unblock, heal anything that is keeping you from going for having that or something similar. Okay. But yeah, thanks for saying that, because it's kind of hard to admit that we get jealous, but we do. All right. So the areas you're going to be focusing on with writing your vision: health and fitness, money and finance, relationships with family, friends, and colleagues, your relationship with your partner. And if you don't have a partner, the desired relationship with the desired partner, career and work, spirituality and religion, adventure, learning, contribution, and then finally your feelings and emotions. So the idea, this is like complete free flow writing exercise. Write around each of those different areas what you want. What do you desire? What's your heart's yearning? Just write about it. Write unapologetically. Nobody else has to read it, right? This is purely for you. Now, the key pieces here, this is really, really key when creating a vision. You've got to write as if you've already got it. So it's completely in present tense. The sentences that are most powerful sound like I am, I have, I enjoy, I love, I create, right? So, let me support the single ladies with Valentine's Day coming tomorrow, okay? Your vision around your guy, that part of your life vision, might be something like, I love spending quality time with my man, walking hand in hand on the beach. I so enjoy the attention he gives me and the presents he buys me. I am, see how I'm using like I am, I love, I create. I am so proud of myself for having written that vision just those few months ago to be able to call him in, right? Just kind of see where I'm going with it. It's like you're writing about it as if it has already happened. It's present tense. It's not past tense, but you're writing like you've already experienced it. The next key to making a vision really, really powerful is to inject as much emotion into it as possible. You want to feel it. So write about how this dream, this desire, this vision makes you feel. I feel so happy and grateful and alive to have this incredibly mutually fulfilling and intimate relationship. It makes my heart sing. My skin is glowing. I've got a spring in my step. People are commenting on just how happy and peaceful I look. And I know that's got a lot to do with this wonderful relationship that I'm in, right? For example, but really bring it to life. This is like a beautiful creative writing exercise. So present tense, inject as much feeling into it as possible, and use as many of your senses as you can, wherever kind of appropriate. But, bring in your sight, sounds, smells, taste, what things feel like. What does it feel like when he holds your hand or gives you a cuddle? What does he smell like? What's the perfume that he wears? Yeah, what does he look like? And how does it feel to gaze into his eyes, right? Sorry for all you in a relationship, but because it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, I got to support the single ladies, right? But they're the keys to making a vision really, really powerful and having real impact. And it's something gorgeous for you then to read on a regular basis. If you want to like up the ante even more, you can create a vision board around your vision. And we're going to do more of this like much later in the self-love affair process. We're going to get to, go even more deep into visioning and manifesting and calling in and creating your life. For now, we want you to create a snapshot of a vision that will pull you through the light at the end of the tunnel when you kind of want to give up. Okay. Let me just take a little look at the book to make sure I've said everything that I want to teach around this subject today. And if you've got any comments while I'm looking, please let me know. If you've got any questions, let me know. Now is the perfect time. And actually, there was a question in the Self-Love Hub from, who's it from? Sana? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Barrett. Oh, great. Thanks, Barrett. I'm glad this is helping. Yeah, brilliant. Yay. Okay, so yeah, we got that. We're good. We are covered. Amazing. So really, like, this is it's a super simple lesson this week. And I know it can bring up challenge as well, because we're just not in the habit of dreaming. We're not in the habit of visioning. And now that you're conscious, now that you're awake, now that you have chosen to love yourself, now that you are determined to create change and transformation in your life, this is pivotal. You got to do it. You can't miss this step. All right? Don't miss this step. If it sounds like a little bit fluffy, please don't succumb to that. This is really, really powerful stuff. Really powerful. I have created stuff in my life that, oh, Anna, hi. Mwah, beautiful lady. Nice to have you. I've created stuff in my life that just simply wouldn't have happened if I didn't create a vision. Oh, Anna, look, I'm wearing red. Remember yesterday I said red's the color? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't have created it if I didn't write a vision. I know that. It's incredibly powerful. So don't skip the step. Jean has said, sorry, missed the subjects we should focus on. Could you repeat, please? You mean the life areas? Yeah, happy to repeat. You can also listen back to the recording anytime, but why not? Let's go. We've got health and fitness, money and finance, relationships with family, friends, and colleagues, relationship with partner, career and work, spirituality and religion, adventure, learning, contribution, and then your feelings and emotions. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 life areas to take a look at. I really recommend you do take a look at all of them. I think it's really important that you have a holistic view of your life. Hope that's helpful, Jean. And if there's anything about the recording or about this lesson that you feel like you've missed or you want to listen to again, the recording link will go into the Self-Love Hub. Okay, so you can catch it there. Anna, you're wearing red too, are you? Awesome. It's a good color. And I'm just going to go into the Self-Love Hub quickly because there was a question from Sana. And I'm going to read Sana's question out and answer it best I can. She says, I used to love reading and learning, and I was the class topper. But when I was in the 11th grade, I faced a huge storm in my life in which I fell into the trap of underestimating myself, seeing others succeed and move ahead of me. I lost my self-esteem, and eventually my belief system developed saying that I can't do anything in life. Powerful. I started procrastinating, escaping, developing fear of studies, and a hell of a lot of criticism in every step. My grades started deteriorating day by day, and simultaneously my mental health too. Though I get much better some days, but only to come back to this state, can you provide some tools to be at present and be conscious instead of being caught up in the trauma and fear of the past? Wow, that's it's really powerful, Sana, what you have said there. There's so many different ways I could approach this, and if I was able to actually talk with you now, I could give you a little bit of coaching around it. So when you said I faced a huge storm in my life, it feels to me like you experienced quite some trauma at some point. I don't know what that was. I don't know what happens, and it's not really important. But for you, the meaning you made from whatever this storm was in your life, it sounds pretty traumatic. And it's at that point, it's that pivotal point, right, where everything started to shift for you and you started to give meaning to it, and your self-esteem stuff suffered, and belief system suffered and all sorts. And, you know, as soon as you create a meaning or, you know, a belief about yourself that, you know, I'm not good enough, or what did you say, that I can't do anything in life, you know, as soon as you know, I can't do anything, that's a huge sweeping statement, right? While that is the belief system, then of course that's what you're going to create. And the more you create it, the more proof and evidence you have for it to be true. And the more you live into it, the more evidence you create that it's true, and it compounds. So, and perhaps you know that because your question is a question of a woman that has quite a lot of conscious awareness. And I wouldn't be surprised if you've already done some work around this. So obviously, we need to change up your belief systems. We need to change up that operating program within you that says, I can't do anything. You know, something about you is not good enough. Something about you is damaged. Something about you isn't enough to do or achieve, accomplish anything in your life. And I know intellectually, on your good days, you know that's not true. I hold you in the light of complete pure perfection and lovability. And I know it's not true. I know at the end of the day, we are all enough and we are all capable of creating and achieving anything we desire in our life. I know that to be true. It can be a challenge. It can be a steep hill to climb, but I know it to be true. To create whatever you want in your life, to feel the way that you want to feel. You said how to be present, be conscious, that have been caught up in the trauma and fear of the past. Yeah. Like I would encourage you first and foremost to know how to get clear, get absolute clarity on what you want to feel instead, because the focus is at the moment, very understandably, on how you're feeling at the moment, which is really tough. And although that's understandable, you need to know what you want to be moving towards. It's a piece of awareness that's an important piece of information for you at the minute. So I would invite you to do a journaling exercise, setting your intention for how you desire to feel instead. What do you want to move towards? And then there's a process to go through, because what you're going to be needing to do is to heal that girl that experienced that storm, that part of your life. Deep healing is required around that, so that you can then start to reprogram your conditioning and your belief systems to believe I am enough and I can do anything and I can create anything. Before you can start believing differently and then feeling differently, you've got to go back and heal whatever it is that needs healing around that original traumatic situation. And actually, Sana, that's what this entire self-love affair process is all about. In fact, the self-love affair process begins, if you've been watching the videos, and if you haven't, go back and check all the replays leading up to today. Go back. The first one is all about setting intention. So you must set an intention for what do you desire? What do you want to feel instead? What are you working towards? And then the next step is to address fear. And how is fear going to stop you from achieving that intention? So you can watch that video, read that section of the book, do that exercise, then move into what does it mean to be consciously aware, and start creating more awarenesses about why you think and feel the way you do at the minute. The next exercise, which these videos take you through, and as the book does, check out the 6 human needs and look at how you're feeling all of those. Again, it's more awareness creation. And then it brings you to today's exercise, which is around visioning and dreaming, which is a little like another kind of building block on top of setting your intention. Like, what do I really want? If I look at all my life areas, what do I want to create? What's my dream? If I believed I was enough, if I believed I could do anything and achieve anything in my life, what would it look like? What would all those 10 life areas, what would that look like for me? And keep following the self-love affair process, because it is a process, and I'm going to take you in the weeks to come into deeper self-awareness, deeper self-knowing, and into healing of those traumatic situations. Now, there's a limit to how much I can do for you over a Facebook Live. There's a limit to how deep you can go with a book. And, you know, for you and anybody else watching now, if you want more and more support, because we can't heal what we can't see, and most of us can't see our deepest, most sabotaging thoughts and beliefs, because if we could, we'd have changed them and we'd be living a different life. You know, that's why coaching is so powerful. It's like a coach's job is to come in and shine a light on what you can't see for yourself. But a process like the Self-Love Affair, like going through this book, going through these videos, you know, these video trainings with me week by week, is absolutely going to begin to create the awarenesses and create the healing that you need to start believing differently about yourself, and from that place start creating a different life for yourself. So in answer to your question, the tools to be present and conscious instead of being caught up in the trauma and fear of the past, the tools are in all of these teachings, and they are a step-by-step process. So follow them, do the work. There's no transformation without doing the work. Okay, self-love is self-responsibility. You've got to do the work. That's where your healing lays. And if you want some, if you want to just feel some kind of instant peace and connection with the truth of who you are, then I really recommend my guided visualizations. I've got 3 meditation albums, but on the first album, the first meditation is called True Self. It's all about connecting in with the truth of you. It's only 15 minutes long. And actually, there is a link that I can share with you that will give you free access to that. So I'll remember at the end of this recording, I'll put the link here for you and you can grab that. So just day to day, to connect in with the truth of who you are, to remind yourself that you are fundamentally beautiful and perfect and exactly where you're meant to be, and that you are enough. Just hooking into that energy every day will be really supportive and really give you peace and presence in the moment. And that is only like a band-aid over a massive shark bite wound if you don't do the work in the background. You've got to be doing the transformational work. And when the time is right for you, get the support to show you what you can't see for yourself. Okay, but Dylan, Sani, you totally, I'm just going back to a different page. You totally deserve to experience healing and change. And every single woman here now on the call, every person on the planet deserves to believe that they're enough. I think fundamentally that's the core belief that most of us need to get to, that at the end of the day, I am enough, no matter what, you know. And I want that for you. So I hope that helps answer your question. And I think we can wrap up. I think that's today's lesson, done and dusted. It's been such a pleasure to be with you guys. Thank you for those of you who've joined me live. And like I said, the recording will be available immediately in the Self-Love Hub, so you can go back and listen again. And I'm wishing you a beautiful Valentine's Day. I hope you have a gorgeous, gorgeous day. And yeah, I can't wait to see you next week. Before I finish up, just a reminder, I am now speaking with women who are interested to join my new, well, it's not new, my existing, but the new launch of my 6-month group coaching program called Live Louder. So I am beginning those conversations. You're welcome, Barrett. Glad you could be here for the entire lesson. So I'm beginning to have those conversations. So I'm pulling together a group of 6 women who are going to journey together. You're welcome, Karina. Who are going to journey together for the next 6 months on a journey home to themselves. It's a really freaking powerful 6-month program. We do a lot of really, really, really deep coaching, deep healing, rather miraculous transformation. So I'll put the link below for you if you haven't already checked it out. Have a look at Live Louder. We're going to start soon. I haven't set the date, but it will be soon. And we kick off with a retreat in Portugal. Which is just the most powerful 2-day retreat to really kick off your process. So if you are inspired and already enjoying the Self-Love Affair process, why not consider doing it with me for 6 months with 5 other women as your support team and fellow teachers and fellow students all together. It would be a pleasure to have you along, but it is a conversation first. So I'll put the link below, and if it looks remotely of interest to you, then just click where it says to have a conversation with me, and we'll take a look, see if it's the right fit for you and I, and let's do this. Okay, I love you. Happy Valentine's. Remember to love yourself tomorrow, first and foremost. Everyone else gets the best of you when you do. Mwah. And I'll see you next week. Okay, guys, bye.